Again, I'll hit the introduction. Then we'll follow that with a Salesforce demo, follow that with a Dynamics CRM demo, and then talk a little bit about what to do as you get started with a CRM project. So before we get into the demos, for those of you who may have never used a CRM system before or might be very new to CRM solutions, we want to go over some of the real fundamental concepts here so as you see them in these two different tools, you'll have an idea of what you're looking at. This isn't meant to be a training session, so we want to make sure we give you a quick background. So first of all, the basics of CRM, what we found is the organizations that do customer relationship well ultimately have learned how to do 4 different things well, and this is independent of the tool. So they listen to people well. So with the CRM tool, that means you're actually capturing what you hear into a CRM database, whether that's sales conversations or customer service issues or the results of marketing campaigns. All of those are going to a corporate memory where you can access it and share that knowledge. You can collaborate around how you serve the customer. The second thing these organizations do well is they understand. So they have the analytical tools in place and the ability to circulate information to all the different parts of the organization so that they can make better decisions about how they work with customers. The third area where those who are the top performers excel is in connecting. So this is where the action happens, sort of actually creating the relationships with customers. And what we found they do really well here is actually have a process in place for doing it. So it's not just a matter of hiring people with good people skills or good relationship development skills. It's actually taking the time to have a very intentional process, but one that's also not a straitjacket, that lets people express their individuality within, and then model that process out in their CRM tool. And then the fourth and final area, but the one where people most often fall short, is this idea of knowing what the results are. So they're constantly looking at how did that marketing campaign do? What was our response rate? How can we improve it? How did that particular opportunity go? How can we improve our chances of winning it next time? Can we speed up the process? Can we serve the customer better? So they're constantly looking at the data that a CRM type of solution would produce, and in their sales and marketing and customer service team meetings, they're breaking that down together as a team, and they're getting smarter and smarter so they can continue around this loop of these 4 different things, doing it better with each successive pass. And that's what we collectively call the luck principle, this idea of listening, understanding, connecting, and knowing. So at their heart, that's what CRM solutions are all about. They're about having better luck than your competitors by being disciplined about these processes. More specifically, CRM solutions focus primarily on 3 different areas of functionality out of the box: sales, marketing, and customer service. So each of those different functional areas has different tools available to the users and those different business teams, and those are surrounded by a framework of things that can be configured and customized to be made to work the way you do. The fourth quadrant there is what the marketplace has started calling XRM. That's the idea of taking this framework and doing entirely new things with it. For instance, we've seen people do project management or time and expense tracking, all sorts of other things that the customer-facing people in their organization still have to do. So these 2 solutions both allow a lot of flexible configuration as well as customization, meaning developer type of access to configure any range of different modules and features within them. But we're going to focus exclusively today on this idea of what's the sales experience like in CRM. So again, the high level of that is in CRM systems such as Salesforce and Dynamics CRM, there's this idea of a lead. A lead is a record that has information about a business and information about a person in it. And in general, a lead is someone you don't know that you want to have an ongoing relationship with yet. So it might be someone who hit your website and filled out the Contact Us form, and when you go do some triage on it, you may find that it's a competitor, so you don't want it in your list of active customers or even active prospects you're working. Or you might find it's someone looking for an internship or doing some other basic information gathering. On the other hand, you might find it's a highly qualified lead, and in that case, you want to qualify it and you want to convert it. And what you'll convert it into is 1 or more of these 3 types of records. The first one is an account. An account is essentially a business or some kind of organization. 1 or more contacts. So a contact is someone who works for an organization. So in the case of our company, the account is C5 Insight. The contacts that are sitting in the room today are Allison, Jeff, Paul, and Paige. So you'd have 4 contacts under that account. And then you might have 1 or more opportunities for that account that you're also following. So an opportunity is something that's in the pipeline. It's something you expect to convert into an invoice and into a return for your organization at some point in the future. So sometimes you convert someone and say they're qualified, they're definitely fit, they're marketing qualified, but they're not ready yet. I'm not going to create an opportunity because they're not actively looking for what we have to offer, but they're the right size, they have all the right qualification criteria, and we're going to convert them over to an accountant contact, and we'll add an opportunity later once they're ready to start talking to us about a potential business relationship. With opportunities, you also get into quotes and orders, and this is one of those gray areas between what CRM systems can do and what ERP systems can do. But both of these solutions allow you to do that to some extent, so we'll take a look at that some today. And then what surrounds all of this is this idea of activity management. Activities are those things you typically do in a tool like Microsoft Outlook. So that's your emails, that's your tasks that you're checking off, that's your appointments that show up on your calendar. All of those things are activities. So you can associate activities with any of these things to make sure you're kind of following a virtuous process of continuously following up with people. Now, once we get an opportunity, remember I talked about the connect part of the luck process, and that being very process-oriented. So most organizations that get good at working their pipeline of opportunities develop some kind of process. This is just an example one here where we start with a needs assessment, and the funnel gradually narrows as you get closer and closer to an event where you would convert folks into an active account for your organization. So we'll look at how that works in these tools as well. So I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Paige Cassada, who is going to walk us through a Salesforce.com demo. Paige?
Okay. Hello, everyone. What I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be showing you a combination of a day in the life and also kind of through time. So what we're going to do is, through the miracle of the demo timeline, I'm going to show you today and then through the future. First of all, I am showing you some information that a sales executive might see. This is a out-of-the-box dashboard in Salesforce. This allows the sales executive to see many different things about their sales pipeline. You'll notice over here on the left, you can see the pipeline growth. As I run my mouse across these different colors that represent, as you can see down here, different types of business, I can also see how much money is associated with those different areas. It looks like, based on this, that we need to get a few more things in the top of our pipeline. Let's see. And it looks like our new business is really responsible for a lot of our growth. Here we go, is our pipeline in the next 90 days. We only have two areas that are denoted here. And again, we can also see here what these different areas mean. We can also click those different areas, and it will actually take us to a report that will give us some details around what makes up those particular parts of the chart. Okay, I'm going to navigate back to my dashboard here. We're going to look at the right-hand side. In the center, we have a big deals area. You'll notice we've got closed opportunities, open opportunities, as well as lost opportunities. Some of the cool things that you can do in Salesforce is you can actually have different metrics based on your different charts. So the metrics for this chart might be different, for example, than metrics for this chart, our actual versus target chart for closed business. You can also see here that we've got the One Deals leadership board, and it looks like Ross is in the lead right now. So now I'm going to navigate to Outlook and show you what it would be like during a regular day when you're working on information that comes into Outlook. I have an extremely clean Outlook inbox for this particular demo. You'll notice that Jeff West has emailed me and says that he's interested in some Salesforce licenses. You'll see over here on the right-hand side, I have this Salesforce widget that has been added, and it says no matching contacts or leads in Salesforce. So what Salesforce does when you have this add-in to Outlook is it actually will take the information here in the email address and look in Salesforce for that particular contact or lead. Now, I seem to remember a West being somewhere in here, so I'm just going to double check and make sure. So I'm going to type in West and search. It looks like we have a few names that have come across that has the West somewhere in their information. It looks like we have a couple of contacts and some accounts. But as I look through this, I do not see Jefferson West in this list. So I'm going to hit Done. Now what I can do is I can actually add Jefferson to Salesforce right from this widget. I'm going to click this plus, and it's going to say Create. These are the different things that I can create, different records that I can create within Salesforce. Now since this is a lead, that's what I'm going to create. You'll notice that the email has been automatically filled in for me, and I have some other information I need to fill in. I believe this is a Mr., and I'm going to fill in his information, and I'm going to hit the checkbox to save. Now, you'll notice that Salesforce has said, hey, wait a minute, there's a problem. You've left something out. There's some information that isn't available. So what I've actually done is this is actually for middle name, and I'm going to put West down here. That'll take care of that, and I'm going to add the company. Now, let's assume that I've already talked to Mr. West and that I found out that the name of his company is West Incorporated. I can also add additional information for phone and title. Now when I click plus, or the check sign, this says the record has been saved. Now we're going to give that just a moment to associate in Salesforce. And then when we come back to this, we will be able to see that this contact is now in our Salesforce. Let's go ahead and look and prompt it. Okay. Sometimes the power of demos is not strong enough. So we're going to come back to that in just a moment. And I'm going to show you another record that we have that is for a record already in Salesforce. So this is someone who is already in Salesforce. His name is John. And as you can see here, the Salesforce widget has said, okay, I'll look at this email address, and I found someone that matches that email. I can use this twisty to open up this record a little bit to see some more information to verify that this is indeed the person that I want to associate this email to. This is the John that I'm interested in associating this with. You'll notice that I have this envelope to the right-hand side of his name. If I click that, then that will, once I actually send this email, then this email will now be available to me within Salesforce. Something else I can do from here is I can actually convert this lead. So we've been having some conversations with John, and John has expressed to me that he would like to actually go ahead and purchase some licenses. So I'm going to click Convert Lead, and this is going to open up the Salesforce window. From here, you notice it's auto-filled quite a bit of information for me, including who the owner of the record is. From here, if I wanted to, I could decide that I want this record to be owned by someone else in our organization. It's going to create a new account for 3C Systems. Now, if this was not actually a new account, if this was a lead for an existing account, I could also use this lookup window to find that account. Here's the opportunity name. I know based on our conversations that John wants 100 unlimited users. You'll notice I can check this box. If I check this box, it will not create a new opportunity upon conversion. However, I want that to happen. I'm going to have the converted status to qualified. And if I wanted to, I could also create a task for myself. So there's a lot of things you can do right from this screen, and that was created directly from Outlook. So I'm going to click Convert, and that's going to automatically close our lead and take us into our new account. So in a very short amount of time, we have taken information from Outlook, found the matching lead in Salesforce, and converted that into an account, a contact, and an opportunity. So you'll see here, this is 3C Systems, the organization. Here is the contact, John Garner, and we also have our opportunity. So now I'm going to go into my opportunity right from my account and do a quick review. So it looks like that even though I've got some of the information in here, you'll notice the amount is blank. So what I need to do is I actually need to add some products and price lists. There are several different ways to navigate in all software systems, and Salesforce is no different. You'll notice here that I have these hot links at the top that show me little windows into the different areas on this form. If I actually click on products, then that will take me down the form to that area. Now if I wanted to, I could choose price book and then come back over here and add the product, but if I just click the add product button, then that's going to automatically say, hey, which price book do you want to use? The great thing about the price books is that you can have different prices based on regions, based on the type of customer they are. There's a variety of different ways that you can set up your price books. For now, I'm going to use this year one price book. So now this is going to show me all of the products and their prices that are available to me from this price list. Now, John said he was interested in the unlimited license, so I'm going to choose these two licenses. This is the unlimited license. This is the list price for a year, and then this is the software assurance for that license. Then when I hit select, it's actually going to take me to the area where I can add the quantities. If you have a particular organization that can ship things out at different times, you can also add the dates here and also a line description if you need to put a note on a particular line, and that will show up as well. So I'm just going to put license here, and I'm going to put SA here so that you can see how that looks. And then here I'm going to put 100 as well. Now if I hit save and more, that will take me back to my price list so that I can add additional products, but all I need to do is hit save. Now that I've got this saved, you'll notice that my amount has updated. And if I look here at my hot link, I can see the two products. If I navigate down here, I can see the total price of each of those products as well, and I typed in a line description, and those are available to me. Now, this is one that I took from the very beginning. Let's look at an opportunity that is already in here. I'm going to click on the Opportunities tab, and this takes me to the Opportunities Home area. This shows me the recent opportunities. Right from here, I can click New if I want to. However, I'm going to go to this View All Opportunities. I can quickly look through and see several different things here. I can see the amount of these opportunities, I can see the account name, and I can also see the opportunity names. Here I can see the stages, and I can see who owns these particular opportunities. For example, here we see that we've got a couple that are closed as won and one that's closed as lost. Now I'm going to open up this Big Life opportunity because I'm not doing very well in our leadership, in our leaderboard on my opportunities, and I know that these particular individuals want to make some purchases. So I'm going to choose my price book, and then I'm going to add my products. And again, this is the same. This happens to just be the same, the unlimited. And we talked, and I found out that they actually wanted 120. Hit save. I'm also going to change this to a different stage. Let me do that again. So whenever you are looking at your opportunity or any records in Salesforce in this particular view, This is a view that just allows you to check out the different fields that you have, review the information available to you. If you want to change one of those, as you run your mouse over those fields, you'll see that you get this little pencil. That means that you can edit that field. Just by double-clicking on that, I get a pop-up that allows me to change this. And I'm going to change this to negotiation. You'll notice that my probability also automatically changed. That's custom programming in the background. This takes care of that for you. I'm going to say OK. You'll notice that this is orange. That means I just need to save this, and then that'll be written to the database. Now, I have created my products, and I have now I want to have some conversations about this particular opportunity. You'll notice I have one opportunity. I need to talk to Romeo about some tech challenges. I'm going to open up that task, and I'm going to write a couple of notes. So let's say that I talked to Romeo, and he has talked to the organization, and everything is fine. He's taking care of it for me. I'm going to change the status to completed, and I'm going to save that. Now, if we navigate back to our opportunity, you'll notice we can just mouse over our related to, and that shows us a quick view of our opportunity. I can click the view, and that will take me in there. We now have no open opportunities. I can very quickly add a new opportunity. For example, if I want to have an appointment with this organization, I can add location information. I can also add where this is going to be, when it will start and end. I can also add attendees if I want to. You'll notice it's related to this particular opportunity. Now when we go back to our opportunity, we notice we have this open opportunity, this open appointment for us. So now we've done all this lead up, let's go ahead and let's quote this baby and get it out the door. So I'm going to navigate to our quotes area. One of the cool things that Salesforce can do for you is it can actually keep the information on the opportunity and the quote in sync, no matter which place that you manage your quote lines. So I'm going to just copy this here. If you wanted to, you could have functionality in the background that would autofill that for you. I'm going to click in this expiration date field and choose an expiration date about a month in the future. Then I'm going to just review the information I have here, and we should be good to go. You'll notice all opportunity products will be added as quote line items. Now that I have this quote saved, I can very quickly change this status and create a PDF and email it. So the status is great because it allows you to have internal review, and it also allows you to track if it's been presented or rejected or accepted. So I'm going to click presented, and then I'm going to create this PDF. So now we have our PDF available that has all the information on it. It has our organization, the organization is going to, as well as the product line items. We can save this quote, or we can save and email this quote. I'm just going to save this quote. Now, if anyone wants to come in and see what has been quoted, they can very quickly navigate to the quote PDF, which is stored right here for you. Now, let's navigate back to our opportunity. This organization is very excited and they want to buy, so I'm going to change the stage to closed as one. Now, if we navigate back to our dashboard, you notice that our dashboards have a refresh date and time. The reason for that is so you can have a quick view of things. However, you can also refresh to see the newest information. You notice our closed business target is in the yellow, and we only have 3 closed opportunities. I'm going to click the refresh button. And then what will happen is we will have an additional closed opportunity here. We will have this will go up a little higher, hopefully until the green, and then I'll be a little higher on the leaderboard. Excellent. So we can see here that our big life opportunity is now closed, and it's considered a big deal, and our gauge has increased into the green, so we're going to be good to go for this month. So that's the information that I wanted to show you today. As you can see, we very quickly were able to look at our dashboards to manage our team, go into Outlook and manage our leads, convert those leads into opportunities, accounts, and contacts, and also we were able to create quotes and close deals. I hope you've enjoyed this quick look into Salesforce.
Okay, thanks, Paige. Next up, Paul Boiano is going to do the same type of demo, but walking through it with Dynamics CRM. So I'm going to turn over the presentation to Paul Boiano.
Thanks, Jeff. How's my screen look? Show my screen. There we go. Okay. So we're starting off. Actually, the screen is showing my active accounts. And what I wanted to do with this demo is take a few minutes, similar to what Paige did, and show different scenarios. First, as a sales manager preparing for a sales meeting, using some dashboards to prepare for that meeting, talk a little bit more about how dashboarding is done in CRM, and then spend a little bit of time focusing on the Outlook integration with taking emails, appointments, tasks, things like that, and how to very efficiently work with the Outlook integration and synchronize data between Outlook and CRM. Take a look at how we do our lead to opportunity sales process, along with quoting and creating orders. In addition, I wanted to spend some time on the new business process flow logic, also called guided process, and tell you specifically about how that is going to work. There's a couple of new features that just recently came out, and hopefully, if time permits, I'll be able to show you the inline editing feature of basically grid editing within CRM 2015, as well as the social pane, the social insights. And finally, there's a pretty nifty internet-based add-on called Insights for Dynamics CRM. I'll spend a little bit of time talking about how we can synchronize our account information with social information and other information on the internet based on insights. So let's start off with the first part, which is using a dashboard in CRM as a sales manager. And we'll navigate over to our sales performance dashboard. And there's a couple of different components in here. This is your overall open opportunity pipeline based on sales stages. We've got goal management going on, so we're in Q3, and these are Q3 goals, and in progress as well as achievements against those goals for my entire team and also for me as an individual salesperson. My team's performance shows here where we have JH, JWF, and PC, and it looks like PC is a little bit lagging behind, so in my meeting I'm going to need to drill into that, as well as my percentage achievements and my sales leaderboard. Sales leaderboard is for the opportunities that have been won in the current year. So using these dashboards, it's a pretty efficient and productive way to prepare for a meeting like a sales meeting, as well as we can have metrics designed around not only pipeline revenue, but if it's a customer service organization that I'm managing, we have metrics on that and many others. Out of the box, you can see that there's many different dashboards that you get with Dynamics CRM. Now let's switch over to Outlook and take a look at, as a salesperson, I'm looking at my inbox, seeing if there's any new emails coming in. And sure enough, here's one that's come in from Rose Hiller, and it looks like they need a quote for some of our products. So directly from my inbox, first I'm going to say I want to track this email and basically create a dialogue between Outlook and CRM. In addition, I can create a lead directly from this email. So once it's tracked, I can use my Convert To button and create a lead from the email. Just needs a little bit of information, including the name, as well as the company. And you can open up the new lead if you want to. At this point, I don't want to. So I'll just create a lead from this email. So now we've taken an email, we've synchronized that email into CRM and created a lead from it. Now let me use my calendar in Outlook to create a follow-up. It looked like Rose wanted me to follow up with her tomorrow morning. So let me create a follow-up for tomorrow morning at 8:30. And let me just put in here a follow-up with Rose Hiller. In addition, I can track this appointment and synchronize it with CRM using one button, the track button. And I can also bolt that appointment to any one of the existing leads or accounts that I have, or to a new lead. Since I just created the Rose Hiller lead, I will attach it to that one. Nope. So once an appointment is created and synchronized with CRM, it's now appearing in both the Outlook side in the calendar as well as on the CRM side. We can enrich that appointment by looking at it directly in CRM, clicking the View in CRM button. We can add additional, if we know of additional people that need to be required attendees or optional attendees, the location and what have you. There's a direct sync between the CRM appointment and the Outlook appointment. So let me close that out and move on and take a look at the lead itself. So I'm going to open up the CRM web client, which I have my dashboard in, and go to the leads area and open up the Rose Hiller lead. And you can see from here that we do have a guided sales process going on, and this sales process will take us through the qualification stage into the opportunity sales process, all in one flow bar. This is called the business process flow, or the flow bar at the top. So in order to qualify the lead, a nice thing that the flow bar gives us is these are the pieces of information that we should be collecting at this stage. Is this lead a new account, or is it related to an existing account? Is it a new contact or an existing contact? Do you know what the purchase time frame is? So pretend that it's the next morning and I'm making the phone call to follow up with Rose, and I'm collecting this information as I'm on the phone with her so that I can fill out more information about the lead before I qualify it. And this capture summary is basically a little more information about what they're looking for, and they're looking for team collateral, products. So I'm going to save my changes there. And then at this point, if I have enough information to qualify the lead, I'll use my qualify button in the ribbon up at top, and I'll qualify the lead, and it will become a new account, a new contact, and a new opportunity because I left those two fields blank for existing account and existing contact. So you can see it looks almost like it's the exact same lead form, but it's actually now an opportunity. The summary that we gave it is the information that shows in the description right here. And you can see the contact and the account that was created is already linked to the opportunity, as well as the other information that we captured on the lead. So very nice. Now we're in the develop stage, and we need to enter more information about the customer need, the proposed solution. Have we identified the stakeholders, and do we know if there's any competitors? Just to save time, I'm not going to enter anything for customer need or proposed solution. We can easily move the opportunity along to the next stage by clicking Next Stage. Once we've captured the information that we need, we can now propose it. That moves to the next stage. Here we can identify a sales team, develop the proposal, complete the internal review, and present the proposal. So at this point in the demo, what I'd like to do is just add some products to the opportunity and then turn that into a quote or a proposal. The top part of the form lets me go directly to product line items. You can have multiple price lists. In this case, I want to pick products off of the team collateral price list. And then within the grid, I'll just hit the plus button to start adding products. I want to add existing products off of the price list. And I know a little bit about what the products entail, so I'm going to add, let's say, an autograph poster, and I want to add 100 units of those. Add another product, and this might be the autograph T-shirt. We'll have 100 units of those. You can see as I'm adding these products that this actually is an inline grid, and it's an editable inline grid directly from the product opportunity products subgrid on the form. So the last one that I'm going to fill out is team hoodie, and we'll give it a quantity of 250. Because of the screen resolution, the form is a little bit small, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to use my button up here to go back down to product line items and scroll down, and underneath the grid you'll see that we have the detail amount extended out. We can give it a discount, either a percentage discount or a numeric discount, and use a freight amount. At this point, we may want to create a formal quote and send it to them. So a formal quote is basically a copy of the opportunity products. To create a new quote, we'll just hit a plus within the quote subgrid. CRM is smart enough to know that all of these opportunities, or all of these products that we've added to the opportunity, will make the basis of our quote. So it adds those 3 line items directly to the quote, including the same quantities. We can modify those here if we'd like to. We can add shipping information, billing information. We can look up different addresses, and we can apply our discounts here if we do want to give a discount. Let's say a 10% discount. And we can add some freight or tax if we'd like to do that. Hit save on the changes. Very quickly, we can create quotes, 1 or more quotes, including revisions from the opportunity products. In order to print the quote, we can print it directly through a quote report, which shows up very quickly in a summary viewer. We can export that from the viewer to PDF or what have you. And there's the quote. And then when we're ready, we activate the quote. Fast forward, let's say that we've given the quote out and they accept the quote. If we want to turn this directly to an order, we've got one button to create an order from the quote. And it's basically a one quote. We can close the opportunity at this point, or we don't have to close the opportunity. We can keep it open. So I wanted to take you quickly through a sales process and how it starts with a lead goes to an opportunity. You can add quotes, and you can go to orders from there. You can close the opportunity directly from winning the quote or not. Let's move on in our demo now and spend a little bit of time talking about the insights. Let me go back to the opportunity itself. And on the opportunity, a little bit lower down on the form, you'll notice something called Insights. Right here. So this is the Dynamics Insights product, which is powered by Inside View. And if we pop this out to its own window, you get to see it a little better. So it knows, or it at least takes a guess based on the name of the company, what website it is and what social information is out there on the net, and it brings it up through this form. You have some overview information. You can look at company insights in many different areas, including acquisitions and litigation and compliance and things like that. You can look at the different people within the company. You can sort them. Of the 400 people, you may want to look at just senior executives. You may want to look at directors, or just people in the finance department. So very quickly you can hone in through the insights and get a lot more information about contacts or other people in the company that you can call on and potentially develop better relationships. You can look at buzz about the company, family tree if it's part of a larger organization. A lot of great information here. There's one other thing that's pretty nifty with this interface, and you can actually update your CRM account information directly from the insights information. You have all these pieces of information that comes in from the net. It compares what Inside View has on the right-hand side to what you have in CRM, and then field by field you can say I want to update or not update. In this case, I don't want to update my description, but I want to update everything else. Click the button, and now we've got it updated. So very nice, very fairly new feature, but a really great way of adding additional insights to your CRM information. Let's take a look at that new inline editing feature and see how that works. So I'm going to go back to my opportunities view, and I'm going to say of all my open opportunities, I want to do some updating using an easier method, a grid method, update some probabilities, some ratings, and some close dates. You may be doing this once a week when reviewing your opportunities and making sure that you keep all of the data fresh and current. So we're going to select this export to Excel and open an Excel online as a way of getting the data out of the CRM view and into an editable grid. What is that? This one here? Okay. So I noticed that I didn't have an estimated close date on this one. Well, it looks like we may be able to close this pretty quickly, so I'll put 7/31 on it. And it looked like my estimated revenue was about 37.5. I think I've got about a 50% probability on this. I may want to update this estimated close date, 8/31. And this one that I thought was hot is actually back down, and it's not so hot anymore, so I'll drop that down to warm. So very quickly you can go through in a grid-like fashion, update some information, save your changes to CRM. This is going to drop, behind the scenes, it's going to drop a CSV file into the queue to be processed, and within a few seconds it'll be processed in, and when we refresh the open opportunity grid, we'll see it's been updated. So again, brand new feature in Update 1 of CRM 2015 that just came out, the May release, and a pretty nice feature that people have been asking for quite a while. Let me show you a little bit more about the social panes and the social activity feeds that we have. A couple of dashboards that we have that I haven't shown before. I'll go back up to my dashboard area. You notice there's a couple of dashboards for customer service reps that have the word social in them. There's an overview. There's a CRM overview as well as a sales activity. Let's go to the sales activity social dashboard. See, out of the box, by the way, each one of these dashboards is customizable very quickly, very easily, and users can create their own dashboards as well. So this one has the sales pipeline as well as a number of what's new items in the middle on the right-hand side. You can create additional posts here just like you can on Facebook or what have you. You could say just followed up with Rose. Looks good. You can do a post. You can associate that post with an individual opportunity or not. You can respond to other people's posts. There's many things that get automatically posted for items that you're following in CRM. You might be following accounts, contacts, opportunities. Whenever any activities or other posts are done there, they'll show up on your wall as auto posts. The post that I just made is called a user post, so those can be filtered out individually from the auto posts, as well as from here you can work with your activities. So you can create new activities directly here, as well as show you posts about individual accounts, cases, contacts. Okay, So I think that covers all of the things that I wanted to cover. So what we did in this part of the demo was we showed you as a sales manager how to use dashboards to prepare for a sales meeting using goal management and achievements against goals. We talked about the Outlook integration, how you could start with emails, directly create leads, track emails and appointments. We talked about the sales process, the guided process from lead through opportunity. We looked a little bit about quotes and orders, as well as the new inline editing feature, and finally a little bit with the social activity panes. So thanks for your attention, and we'll turn it back over to Jeff.
Okay, so thanks Paul and Paige for that. We're going to take just a couple of minutes to wrap up here. Alice and I will go through this, and if you have any questions, get ready, have those queued up. Of course, you can submit them, as Allison said, via GoToWebinar. We've answered a few that way, but if you have others, go ahead and start queuing them up now so Allison can ask those of the group of us as we close out in just a couple of slides here. So one thing to know as you think about implementing a CRM solution is that, the truth be told, although these CRM tools look great and are great, most CRM projects, or a great many of CRM projects, continue to fail. These statistics you see here are from trusted analysts, technology analysts, from almost 15 years now, and they all show a failure rate between 20% and 70% on the high side. We did some of our own research about a year ago, and said depending on how you define it, failures run from 30 to 60%. It's pretty clear that about 30% of CRM projects just flat out fail to produce an ROI. So that's about the most basic level of failure definition. But on the higher side, when you look at are they fully adopted, is everyone really using them, not even are you getting your full potential, but are you just getting the whole team to do the basics with them, failure rates start jumping up to 60, maybe even 70% in some cases. And what none of those rates consider is the fact that many organizations have had 2 or more failures and are continuing to try to get it right. These are all just looking at the current instance and is it a failure or not. So when you look at that, you could probably say these rates could go up by quite a bit just based on the multiple failures organizations have. So why do we say all that right after doing a CRM demo, trying to help everyone understand the benefits and maybe make a selection for a tool? Mostly so we can give you a quick backgrounder on some of the ways to reduce your risk of failure. So there's a lot of different deadly sins we've identified. We have a whole CPR for CRM presentation we make, and we talk about 7 deadly sins there. But if we summarize all of that into the 3 most important things we've run into that are currently affecting CRM success rates, they are, number 1, having a plan. We run into 2 kinds of failures here. The first one is when organizations go get a piece of CRM software expecting it to take them where they want to go, and then they kind of find themselves out in the wilderness not really having any clear idea of where they're going or how to get there. So the reality is CRM software is like a boat. You can get into the boat, and if you know where you're going, it can take you to a wonderful place, but if you don't know where you're going, you can wind up lost at sea. So having a very clear plan and vision up front is really important to your overall success. So we see people err to the side of not planning at all, or going the old IT route of having some waterfall type of plan, which is years of configuration and setup and detailed requirements that you really don't need all up front. You can do those with each subsequent phase. So you need a right-sized plan. Number 2 is what we call integrate, migrate, and eliminate. When we ask people directly what the most important problem or obstacle they were dealing with in terms of the success of their CRM initiative, the number 1 answer we got back was integration with other systems. And we pushed a little deeper into that and asked, how many systems do your people have to use now, and how satisfied are you with CRM? You saw a high level of tolerance for 1 or 2 systems. So if I can use CRM alone or CRM plus 1 system, I stay pretty happy, I stay pretty productive. But as soon as I have to use 3 or more systems to get my job done, and I'm in a customer-facing job, satisfaction and productivity rates drop off precipitously. So it's very important to start looking at how do we get people everything they need in one place instead of making them navigate everywhere for it. A great way one of our clients put it now, they were a prospect at the time, was, look, we've tried this several times, and every time it felt like we were marching up the hill with a heavy pack on our back, and the management team came in and threw a big rock into the pack and said this should help and walked away. They didn't take anything out, they just made the load heavier. And that's what CRM systems feel like to a lot of sales teams, customer service teams, and marketing teams who say, I've already got to use all of this other stuff. Now you're just layering another thing in here that I have to do something on top of. That's not helping me. So you need to kind of integrate, migrate, and eliminate. Have fewer applications that they use. Even look at things like both Paul and Paige demoed how to do quotes, but most organizations still do quotes in their ERP system. They should be migrating those over their CRM system so their salespeople have fewer places to go to do everything they need to do to get their job done. And the last one is this idea of ongoing CRM focus. Another client put it to us in another great way. They said, you know, every CRM project I've been on so far has felt like a New Year's resolution. It started great, but then it fizzled out. And the more we thought about that, the more we realized it makes a great deal of sense. CRM is like a membership to the fitness gym. Everybody knows they should have it. Everybody knows it can be life-changing. Everybody knows they should be going. But very few people actually maintain the discipline to actually get up and go there every day to get in shape and to stay in shape. The exact same thing is true with CRM. There's very few people that have a decent CRM system that would say this isn't something I should be doing, and yet it's hard to find them doing it. There's whole processes and methodologies around getting people to adopt it. It has nothing to do with forcing them to do it. It really doesn't have too much to do with carrots and sticks. It has a lot to do with how you're setting up your meetings and how you're empowering your people to engage with each other to have an impact on the bottom line of the business. So we can do a whole separate session on that at some point as well. If you want to learn some more about these things, there's some upcoming opportunities to do so. In a couple of weeks, we have a session called Why Upgrade from CRM 2011. So for those of you who might already be on Dynamics, if you're looking at a new version, you can take a look at that. We're also going to do a demo of marketing on Dynamics CRM, and we'll be following with a similar one about Salesforce in the coming weeks after that. You can download right now from our website the CPR for CRM study. So there's the study for some of the percentage failure rates we saw. The detailed research is available on our website. You can go to that address on this page to download it, or just go to c5insight.com and go to the download section. You'll find it there. The last thing is an upcoming tool. We've had a lot of people say, you know, how do I really know if our CRM is failing or not? How can I benchmark it? So we're in the process, the final stages of designing a very simple self-assessment tool where you can go rate yourself across a number of categories, and you can identify areas where you can make improvements. That will be available for download in the coming weeks as well. We also have a YouTube site where we're a YouTube channel where we upload these videos afterwards. This one will probably appear in a few weeks. The CPR for CRM session, one that's a couple of months old, is already there. One we did just a week or two ago that updated that will be there in the coming weeks. So keep an eye on that. Go see what's out there already. There's a lot of tools out there to help you. You can also go check out blogs.c5insight.com for a long list of articles, some of them very technical, some of them more business-oriented on how you can be successful with your CRM tools. Allison, are there any questions?
One question has come through. Martin has asked, they've got a unique sales process that needs to be automated, prompting the salesperson through the process. And is that something that can be done both for Salesforce as well as Microsoft Dynamics?
You guys each want to maybe give your own answer to that question as to how it might be covered in yours? Or what's our time look like?
We've got about 3 minutes left.
Okay, let's just give a high-level answer. The quick answer is yes. There are different ways that the process would get accomplished. In Dynamics CRM, you saw the flows across the top that Paul had illustrated. In Salesforce.com, you'd probably use some form customizations. So as you go through each stage, it would customize the form to prompt people just with the items they need. However, both of them you can get down to writing custom code. So if you have a highly tailored process that neither of them will quite cover out of the box, there are programmatic options that let you do virtually anything you can imagine. So without understanding the absolute specifics of your detailed process, I can tell you there's options to get that done in both solutions, and in the worst case, there's custom coding options that can interface with either solution.
Jeff, it sounded like he was almost referring to, I think it was a he, the dialogue, a prompted, scripted way of getting through things. So CRM definitely has a way of creating that guided process that's interactive with the end.
That's true. So rather than the guided process, that might work. And Salesforce.com actually, in their marketplace, you can actually download a free scripting add-on there as well that can work with that kind of process, or even with a telemarketing type of scripting process.
And I don't have any other questions coming through right now. Thank you guys so much for joining us. And as Jeff did mention, I will email all of the attendees of today's webinar with the links to our YouTube channel, where I will have the recording for today's session, as well as the CPR for CRM session that Jeff mentioned, in the next few business days.
Thanks, everybody. Thank you for joining us.
Have a good day.
Thank you.